The known is an expression of the mind ruled by contextual dependency. But what is the unknown? First, the unknown does not mean unintelligible. It means we have no capacity to frame it within the relative position of our outlook. The unknown is not wrapped by the relative abundance of subject-object so profuse in the reality of the known. Yet the same world perceived outside of common contextual profiles, so classified, is in a way so vastly different that words cannot justify any position to an approach that does not exist within the language of our understanding. If you come from the position of using available tools, thinking, understanding, explanations at your disposal to either define or uncover your reality, those tools become a statement of dependency. A testament, really, to the narrowed specificity of the contextual profile you project in the center of the reality you embody. Look, those tools create the perceptual realm, affirming the very confines of a reality shaped through its scrutiny. Get it? We think our way through life as it offers boundless possibilities, but why do those possibilities exclude the ability to perceive outside the inclusion zone we are so vested in? Because we are immersed in this reality through the tools we employ. This is not a religious ideology. This is a perceptual reorganization and functional redistribution of human resources available within each individual human being. However, if your mind is organized and continuously exposed to traditional and extrinsic outlooks so common amongst many people today, you may not recognize or understand the implausible designs submitted next. Freedom, not as we know it, is not a communal or institutionalized experience. It must be discovered and fought for within and outside contextual nepotism. Perceptual freedom outside anthropomorphically designed version of reality is not possible since understanding is anthropocentrically intended. Freedom, not as we know it to be, is a personal battle fought on multiple fronts, across time and space, which are contextual coordinates, and elsewhere, in spaces where no places exist within the unknown. And yet it is not fought for or gained through any of those accounts. It is fought for in ways irreconcilable to the intended goal, since the objective is not within the purview of the known or the language which parlays its descriptive stances. Look, the freedom we have yet to experience can be so easily misidentified when brushstrokes applied to the scene blur its descriptive state through associative contexts meant to explain what cannot be defined nor understood. Exploring who we are outside the frame accesses the unknown beyond our comfort zone and is the price of admission. By exploring not what we don't know so that it can be translated into common knowledge through words, but by examining how we perceive, not through explanations, since that would define the limits of our perception and empower the mind bound to its own volition into endless babbles or merry-go-rounds plausibly narrated, as if the mind as the mind we have trained could tackle this type of endeavor within the terms of its present state. Do you get it? The danger to a linear comprehension of facts is that it lives inside a sentence. And if this does not rearrange your sense of reality, call Alice in Wonderland and ask her what this really means. And if you are still waiting after you've heard nothing in her reply, it is because she understood and you did not. Take the red pill. Unless you still want to live as a thingamajig or as a thinkamabob, then take the blue pill. You will never know the difference. Does language as a tool of identity coordinate perceptual understanding of reality amongst the brain of many individuals? Is perception a lens fitted by the assemblages of a reality promoted? Meaning, what is perceived is not a replica of reality in one state, but rather reality as a reflective state of perception in multiple modes or states of play. Awareness enlivens endless universes in countless states of play which reflect given perceptual orchestration. Particle physics tells us subjective entanglement affects reality. What is the relationship of identity states, perception, and reality? Yogis in samadhi states experience a vastly different reality than that perceived as objectified daily reality dressed in a contextual garb. Awareness also enlivens multiple types of bodies within multiple states of consciousness. However, those who maintain an absence of presence in the world as a description may ultimately be more effective in their own pursuit of total freedom. Defining who we are engages the limited partnerships from which definition lingers as a trap. Effective spontaneity may be the highest form of interaction, but few practice it. If the message is the medium, the clothes do not make the monk. But then, isn't that a misdirection? We understand within perceptual confluences we have been made hostage to, dictated by descriptions presented through language. Language conditions perception to its advantage. Can you perceive without description? And can you describe without the structural integrity, cohesion and collusion prodded by language? The norm is established by correlates or obvious practices fed by the language of habits. Perception free of language deconceptualizes the parlance of perceptual habits. Advantages and disadvantages and numerous other constructs are positions advocated by language as peripheral imagery, plying competing admonitions or supporting roles critical to anthropomorphic postures enrolling human attention. More critically, language ignores important perceptual schemes impossible to describe so that what cannot be described cannot be understood nor explained. And what cannot be explained does not exist to people highly dependent on contextual configurations justified through language and reciprocal ancillary tools, organizing, standardizing, cataloging, if not managing its compliance. The only credible equilibrium available to human beings is that which provides a sense of balance and steadfast purpose to those walking the known while exposed to the unknown. We are that, the freedom of uncharted potential. And yet that is not who we are. We are the undetermined prospects of enlightenment, but not the image you entertain of what this means. Teach2learning.com. Understanding does not set the parameters to intelligence. Copyright 2020 and 2024 texts and scripts.